Hey folks, Doug Turnbull here, and honestly don't have time to write a blog this week, but I feel it really important to offer my opinion about what happened at Talladega Superspeedway with Kevin Harvick, and so I'm going to share that with you because really what the controversy of the finish is not when the caution flew and how that affected Dale Jr., but it's how NASCAR handled and how Kevin Harvick handled the situation that ended up turning the race sideways for many people. Of course, there's two final restarts after Jamie McMurray blew his engine with just a couple of laps to go. Greg Biffle pitted from the lead, and as the field was rolling around multiple laps under caution without being red flagged, NASCAR deciding to do that and let the laps wind down and devolve it to a green-white checkered finish. And again, they told teams earlier in the week they would have one attempt and not three of those. Kevin Harvick was right behind Trevor Bayne in line. Trevor Bayne's team, as the field was finally coming to the green flag in what should have been the first attempt at a green-white checkered finish, told NASCAR, the number 6 team told NASCAR that the number 4 car in front of them, that being Harvick, was leaking oil. NASCAR simply said back to the team, and I heard this myself, tell them it's going to be okay, it'll just burn off as the race goes green. So, it goes green. But before they actually cross the start-finish line, the field buckles up behind them, and not exactly sure why. It looked like Joey Logano led them through the restart zone very slowly, but Jimmy Johnson and Kyle Larson spin out, and then it's under caution again. But as you see the replay of the restart, you see Harvick juke out of line, something obviously wrong with his car. As I listened to the number 4 team radio, I heard them talking about the problem intermittently during another long caution period as crews cleaned the track. NASCAR radios down to the teams and tells them, hey, that did not count as our green-white checkered restart, so this will be our one and only attempt at a green-white checkered flag. And so it happened. The field comes to green. Harvick actually says on the radio, or as crew chief Rodney Childers says, let's just hold in line and hopefully the field will wreck and then we'll hold our spot and be able to stay in the chase. Keep in mind that coming into this race, less than 20 points separated 2nd through 10th in the standings, so any big swing up or down takes multiple drivers in and out of the chase. With drivers right on the chase bubble like Kyle Busch and Ryan Newman and even Martin Truex Jr., and those that had bad days like Denny Hamlin falling back and needing some miracles to happen in front of them to get into the chase, Harvick, what happens to him really affects them. Well, Harvick decides to just hold his line there, not go to the pits, even though he has a car that can't perform, and thus the race goes green. Harvick slows down, Trevor Bayne swings to his outside, and they make contact. Bayne goes sideways, it bunches up the field, Kenseth gets into Harvick, and it was on from there. Except it wasn't. NASCAR called the race as soon as it went green. That was their one attempt at green-white checkered finish. Joey Logano takes the checkered flag. Dale Earnhardt Jr. finishes second, and Jr. had to win pretty much to advance. He falls out of the chase. He joins Kenseth, Hamlin, and Newman as the 4 drivers that do not advance from the contender round to the eliminator round. But here's where it went wrong, and this is not a thing that I'm hearing enough by any of the people, the opinions that I've been reading through the day. Harvick may very well have intentionally wrecked Trevor Bayne, and if they find enough conclusive evidence to say for sure that he wrecked Trevor Bayne to cause a caution to save his butt and stay in the chase, then NASCAR should take him out of the eliminator round and put Ryan Newman in, who is the first driver back 9th in points. But if they can't prove it, they shouldn't change anything. Here's what they should have done instead that could have avoided this whole debacle. NASCAR knowingly let a car with a problem on the racetrack stay on the racetrack for 3 different periods, or for 2 different restarts. They had 3 opportunities to take Kevin Harvick off of the track, and NASCAR did not act. What a mess. If Kevin Harvick is not on the track, he doesn't cause this wreck, he doesn't cause this rumble in the field, and we're talking about something else today. Maybe the field wrecks anyway, who knows? But NASCAR was inconsistent in their call on Harvick, and NASCAR is damned if they do, damned if they don't. If they penalize Harvick and black flag him, they take him out of the chase right then. The defending champion, arguably the best driver and race team in the sport right now, he's done because they black flagged him. But they let the team figure it out for themselves, and what did Harvick do? Whether he meant to or not, he caused a wreck, and it saved his chase. NASCAR's inconsistency here is what really is wrong with this sport today, when they choose to throw cautions, when they choose not to, whom they choose to penalize, and who not. David Reagan, earlier in the race, got penalized for leaking oil, except the number 55 team that Reagan drives for said that he was not leaking oil. They come to their pit box once during green flag. NASCAR isn't satisfied with it. They send him away. NASCAR official says that there's oil in their pit box. The team doesn't, but they send him back to the pits anyway. In fact, they even threatened to stop scoring him, throwing the black flag and the white cross. Reagan's day's done. He finishes 2 laps down outside of the top 30. NASCAR also penalizes Casey Mears for having a damaged race car and being on the racetrack under green. Okay, that's fair enough. That's what NASCAR does. But in the case of Harvick, when everything was on the line, when Harvick's mistake cost others a chance to win, and even himself, NASCAR lets him stay in the race. No black flag. The inconsistency of the black flag, not the yellow flag, is what's really the problem here. And that's what really kind of marred the finish at Talladega Superspeedway. So that's my take. Combined it with all the others, there have been a lot of great opinions on that. I hope that NASCAR doesn't make too drastic a move without the right evidence. But at the same time, they need to be more retrospective and introspective and looking ahead and how they legislate the final 8 drivers and who wins the 2015 Sprint Cup Championship. I promise I'll write something next week. Doug Turnbull here for the WSB Radio Race Blog.